I got some tips for you today. Today I want to talk about subplots, the purpose, why they're important, and how they can make your story. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about subplots. Now, I really like subplots. When I was introduced to subplots, you know, when I was learning how to write, subplots, to me, subplots really make a story. Subplots really break a story. So, what is a subplot? Okay, so you're writing your story, you've got it. Girl meets boy, they fall in love, they got a bit of problem, but then they get married in the end. The subplot is a story that runs parallel to your story. Yeah, the subplot now can really add dimensions to your story, and the subplots are not as great as your story. The subplots are not as prominent as your story, but they really add that depth to the characters. Okay, so what is the subplot there for? Number one, the subplot is there to confirm what you're already thinking. Number two, it adds meaning to actions. Number three, it echoes the theme of the plot. Okay, so number four, subplots can also kind of like provide distractions, provide kind of, conflict in there, so that the character, has to go through this stuff and then, becomes a hero at the end. The thing about the subplot that you must remember is it has to be less complex. Okay, so it's not as complex as the novel, but it's got to be a less complex story running parallel to the story. The subplot is there to add interesting elements to your story. That's what it serves. Subplots are essential, but they're also there to be enjoyed. And to be honest with you, writing the subplots for me, I really enjoy them because it just puts so much element into your... You can really mess up the reader through the subplot. Even though the subplot is simple, you can really add that substance to your characters through subplot. So subplots, although they're minor, they are actually quite major in making your story the best that it can be. So the subplot is the glue to your story, and it can make you a magical writer. So now I have an activity for you. If you're writing a story at the moment, why don't you write down what your subplot is and write 3 bits of substance or character or flavor that it's adding to your story. And that will give you a lovely little clear vision of what your subplot is intended to do. Because you might just be writing a story at the moment, no clue what the subplot is. Maybe you don't even have a subplot. But if you do and you don't realize you've written one, this is great. Write out your subplot and let yourself know, right? Write down what kind of meaning does this add to your story. I'll see you again next week. I hope you enjoyed this session. I hope it made a little bit of sense to you. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.